Hello, and welcome to another episode of Power On Podcast Bebop, Episode 2. I'm going to talk about some Stray Dog Strut. I'm one of your hosts, Motogato553, Taylor. Hi, how's it going? And with me is Mr. Sushi B. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there and ready for another bounty.
Another bounty. Yes. Maybe, hopefully.
Hopefully.
So,
Apparently unlikely, though.
oh, no. But yeah, we're going to talk about Stray Dog Strut. And this is a we get a crew member to join the Bebop sort of kind of totally. I joins in, but not right off the bat. We get this setup of having big shots, good old bounty hunter TV show, which is a weird. It's this show came out in the late 90s, so the internet is there, but it's not quite the force that it ends up coming in our reality, right?
Right. So they basically get their bounties through an infomercial.
Yeah. A fantastic one with like a Judy and Punch show there going. So
the show within the show.
Right. Well, I mean, I think the character names are Judy and Punch as well, so
I think so, yeah.
It's that on the nose.
We get the classic shucks howdy.
Yeah, shucks howdy. But yeah, so it's a going after a bounty that is really nodding towards a certain movie of Bruce Lee, Game of Death, but also it's just the bounty itself is Abdul Hakim, which is nod to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar there. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff. Where the first episode felt like kind of being stuck in mud. This one feels like it has some a lot of life to it, partially because there's a lot of chasing going on, and so it's almost like an inversion where there's just a little bit of action and a lot of kind of simmering going on. Here it's a whole lot of action, a little bit of simmering. So, I don't know. What are your kind of just overview thoughts on the episode?
It's a massive tonal shift for sure, so it can be pretty jarring going from that first episode, which is a bit more laid back, a bit more of that Western style of genre, and this becomes much more of that. The 60s and the 70s had all those like chase movies, right? You had like The Italian Job, and there's that one. It's a mad world, or whatever, the one where they're all chasing the treasure under the T, the tree that's shaped like a T. And it has all those famous comedians in it and stuff.
Oh.
That's the one where they're all chasing, and it's just like a wild goose chase.
I completely forgot about that movie.
Yeah. So I think that this is what this particular episode is supposed to be evoking, is that sort of goofy treasure chase type genre. So big shift for sure.
Yeah, that's it. It does. I guess it just being in the episodic nature and having it be more of a weekly thing. If you watch these back to back kind of thing, you're like, what is going on? Not necessarily confusing in the sense of story, but you're just like, it is a very strong pivot in its tone. What are things that you like about this episode?
That's a good question.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
for the most part, this is not one of my more preferred episodes, for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah, I struggled to, I struggled to get through this episode necessarily, but I have a hard time finding a lot of bits that I enjoy about it. The fight on the bridge is good.
Mhm.
Although, again, quite short. We don't quite get to see a lot. He kind of backs away and focuses so much on Ein, and then all you get is Spike basically saying, "Oh, you're pretty good at, Hakim." You're like, you really get to see too much action.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's really kind of nodding towards Game of Death there. Like, I don't remember there really being too much fight going on between Bruce Lee and Kareem Abdul.
It's about 3 to 5 minutes, I think, the screen time they have or something.
Yeah. I think that's really a nod, an homage to that sort of thing going on. Like, for me, I liked this episode, but, it's been one that I've always kind of enjoyed. I've enjoyed the chase stuff, so it hasn't really diminished for me. I've enjoyed it. Probably my favorite scene is towards the end, where the, Abdul takes the car from the wedding, and the groom's like, excuse me?
Punches him straight in the face.
Punches him without even, like, looking his direction, doesn't say anything. His answer is his fist. And to me, it was just so hilarious, like, such a hilarious response. But yeah.
How he fits in that car is pretty surprising too, because he's not a small man.
Well, but here's the thing, though. He looks really tall, but they must have got the information wrong at Big Shot, because they only say he's 6'2".
Yeah, he's more than 6'2". He's like 8'2" or something.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, they only say he's 6'2", and I'm like, I don't think so.
He's towering over quite a few of those folks, like when he fights those guys that come into the bar and like kicks that door open and stuff. Yeah, he's huge. Like, he's not a small guy, right? He's got like the long hands and everything.
Right.
So it's an interesting design for sure. Like, it's neat to see something that's kind of different in that regard. And interesting how they said, "Oh, well, he went through plastic surgery to change his face and change his whole body language and demeanor."
I always like this episode because it has the Vash the Stampede knockoff as the petty thief. I don't know if you are familiar with Trigun. Main character from Trigun. Oh, okay. So yeah, there's that look, the hair and the glasses.
The guy's got the blue hair instead of the blonde.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So that it looks like another, like a whole Kevin from Trails in the Sky, kind of similar look. It's just that, and he's got a Brooklyn accent that also makes it a little. Yeah, like I don't know. For me, I just think it springboards well off of that first episode, because it has this goofiness. It does have that tonal shift, but it also is still aiding in filling out the world. You get the scientist guy who pops up later on in the series.
Right.
You get, Big Shot, good old Big Shot. From the get-go. What am I thinking? You see more of the gate travel, and as it goes on, it's a little bit, it lessens in time and stuff, but it also is like, oh, hey, it's 7,500 Wulongs to go through the gate. Mind you, where they were going from, kind of thing, to get to there and everything. Something kind of forgot to mention, they were in Tijuana in episode 1. Yes, which is an interesting nod, because that's it hints to something for the world building, or the solar system building, that is kind of something that's much more in the background. It's almost like as if longing for what once was, sort of thing, and I like that. That goes on. Now, you get the little bit more of a detective bit going on, even though it's just a small scene, but it's you had that in episode 1 when Spike goes to see what would you call him, like a spiritualist, a mysticist with Sitting Bull?
Yeah, mystic guide or whatever.
Right. Here, he goes to a weapon shop, to kind of, he works his charming personality, and, mind you, I wish there was a little bit more back and forth, but, he's doing the beat and trying to figure out where they could possibly go to the shadier sides of things to...
And the seller sounds like he's one of the Ninja Turtles.
Wait, what?
By just his sort of tone of voice, his intonation, and his language, he really sounds like he's one of the Ninja Turtles.
Gotcha. He certainly fits in with the...
that surfer dude sort of talk.
Yeah, the bad guy, double dragon, henchman kind of looking dude.
Yes. One of the ones you quickly dispose of off the side of a building, or
with the
cannot
knee.
withstand a single knee strike.
Right. Yeah, that, and you also get it helps continue to color in all the different borders and everything of the world of Bebop, and I like that in this episode. And I think if it had continued with the same tone, it's I don't know how to put this. Like, there are specific episodes that it is important that they continue with the tone of the story going on. And there are 5 of those in particular. Episode 5, Battle of Fallen Angels, Jupiter Jazz 1 and 2, and then the Real Folk Blues 1 and 2. Like, those are very important to have those all be very tonally the same. I think having this mix up and stuff really leans into what a lot of what they hopefully going for with just what they would do in all the other episodes. And certainly, yeah, there'll be some replication of tone, but just because of the players involved. But there's also going to be some silliness because that's life.
Yeah, the environment is going to change, but the players, they don't suddenly change to be, now Jet acts like a clown and Spike is... They don't at least change that. It's just that the players are put into a different environment and now adapt to the wackiness that's happening around them. Right.
Because, I mean, making a Welsh Corgi a data dog, super secret thing that will sort of get explored here and there throughout the series.
Yes, sort of. Not nearly enough. Like, the way they imply that this is going to have some kind of repercussions throughout the series, but not in my recollection does anything really happen with Ein of super significance.
I can just think of one thing towards the very end. Well, there's a couple things, but like the big one is he saves one of the characters. And stuff.
I'll get there. I can't remember, but I don't remember paying off nearly as much as it implied.
No, it's just the card that can get played when it needs to, and it's just kind of, you're like,
get out of jail card.
Yeah, it's a get out of cyber jail, right next to the cyber Just a lot of cyber going on in this. I like the dude saying that though. It's like, just pass the cyber mall. It's like, that's cute that mall's still existing. At this time period.
Well, as do infomercials. So. on fuzzy old television sets or whatever they're watching it on.
I mean, that'd be pretty neat. Like that, like Jet's, or not Jet's, but Spike's lighter. I like that lighter that gets shown, like in episode 1. But, I like the TV. I think the TV's nice. I want to
fine with this. It's fine.
That'd be a little cool, like, projection thing. That'd be pretty sweet. So, I will say this. So, I kind of jokingly tongue-in-cheeked it last episode. To travel through the gate was 7,500 wulong. Do you know how much money that the doctor was asking for the information he was providing them? Do you remember?
So you just said it was 7,500 wulong?
Yeah, to do the gate travel.
Didn't he ask them for 5,000?
No, 300.
And he still got him down, didn't he? He's like, oh, I don't have any money or whatever.
Well, that, but also it's like, oh, this extra info doesn't come. This is free kind of thing.
No, right? All right, fine.
Right. And then the lady with the turtle for a hat, she says that the Welsh Corgi is only worth 2 wulong.
2 wulong. Yeah. And the guy's trying to get 150 and 200.
Right. So, wulongs. There's probably some money mathematician, money scientist who can work out what exactly is the value of a wulong. I am too stupid for that. However,
there is any specific guideline. Was there not a thing in the interview that somebody had brought this up with the producers and they were just like, they're just conveniently, valued at whatever they need to be in that moment.
I mean, makes sense.
They didn't really put a lot of time to managing. That's a really important aspect that this be in line. Like if you buy this in episode 6, now there's inflation in episode 10. Or, they were just like whatever, right? Like this is it's just the same as the bounties, I suppose, right? Why would this particular person be that? Like thinking of Asimov, you would think his bounty would be a lot higher just based on the fact that what he's stolen could be pretty detrimental to society.
That, and he also murked a whole bar worth of people.
Well, yeah.
Kind of.
Too, so yeah. But I guess because the bounty was put on by his own syndicate, maybe they put a little, I don't know, right? The numbers don't really matter, so.
Yeah,
it's like, whose line is it?
Yes, points don't matter.
When Drew Carey be like, you get 1 billion points and you get 2.
Right.
It's kind of in that vein.
Well, yeah, no, I'm being cheeky, but yeah, it is.
No, I know.
One of those things where it's like, man, they have a hat with a bunch of folded up papers with numbers on it, and they just pull out one.
But there was always going to be that one person that has to overanalyze everything and pull out every number and say, "Well, this isn't possible." And, you don't need to don't let that ruin your experience, right?
Right.
Don't buy into that too much to worry that this is not aligning. It's okay.
Now, as somebody who's not very much in drinking and whatnot, Lao Chu is actually a drink.
Lao Chu?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Because it gets ordered in there, and I didn't know. I didn't look it up. I'm gonna look it up now because I don't see anything.
Wasn't that almost the same name as the villain at the start of Temple of Doom? Wasn't he Lao Chi or something? So I don't know if that could be another just inside joke or something. I'm not sure.
Maybe. I'm not saying anything, but I could have spelled it wrong. That's alright. I didn't know.
With so many other things being within the realm of possibility, but maybe not existing, it probably doesn't exist.
Immersion broken. Fake drinks. Money that doesn't make any sense.
Yep. Big
Shot saying he's 6'2" when he's 8,000 feet tall. It's just gracious.
Wacky lifestyle that would very unlikely happen. Even
this
as
is
a bounty hunter.
Amateur hour here.
Yeah.
They're just making it up as they go along. So, what particular things about it that you don't like? Then,
just the overall flow of the episode is a little too jarring for my tastes. And it's funny because there's another episode that I know I like, and it kind of follows in this vein.
Yeah.
But maybe just coming off of the way Spike and Jet, character-wise, they almost feel like they're kind of out of place with everything else that's happening in this episode, whereas that other episode, the two characters that are in that episode do fall more in line with the wacky alignments. So, and I'm not that keen on Ayn. Like, Ayn as a character is just, I never really even almost put Ayn in as a party member in a sense,
Right.
just because I don't really think of Ayn even as a pet, just kind of there. Just because Ayn doesn't get utilized a ton. That's what this episode is really the key episode for the most part for Ayn. So those are just, I know they're not the major gripes and stuff, but just I don't really find the store shop, the pets keeper, all that intriguing or interesting, and just
her voice grates on my ear.
Just the back and forth in that segment, I don't really find that interesting. Hakeem is okay as a villain, like is very different than Asimov, so I think that's kind of cool, and they added something very unique.
Well, that he's kind of a good reflection for the Bebop crew, in that there is competency. It's not like they're buffoons. It's just they seem to have just some bad luck.
Yeah,
a lot of times.
It seems to be the reality that. Well, is it this episode or is the next one that Big Shot says, "Howdy, all 300,000 of you bounty hunters," or whatever? Like, this is not a small pool of people that are bounty hunters, and so it seems to be pretty difficult to be successful in this life in this world, whether you are a bounty or a bounty hunter.
And it'll come up again. A little bit there in Heavy Metal Queen. You kind of get a bit of that as well. I would say.
Yeah, we do see some characters that are living and working in traditional jobs, if you will. And this stuff is just really out of the norm. We just happen to be following people that are living a more adventurous life.
Yeah, the outer edge people that aren't like hermits.
Shunned all of society. I don't really find most of the music that appealing in this episode. I don't like the chase song.
The want it back. You don't like that song?
The lyrics? No. Yeah. I don't really like that. And I just find the chase stuff is just maybe a little too long. It's happening kind of over and over. Like it's just kind of replayed too much for my liking. Because you get like car chases and running chases and flying chases and yeah. So it's cool that they kind of continued up the ante, right? Because you get Spike in his little jet, and then like it's okay, but.
Yeah, when he gets in the swordfish, he is not too happy.
No.
He's like, all right, jerk.
Starts squishing him, basically.
right.
I do like how Akeem's hand is so big, he just, like, palms Ayn like he's nothing. Like, he just palms him and then sprays him with that purple mist.
Oh, right, yeah, it's just kind of like, go to sleep.
And for as big as he is, you think that dog wouldn't be able to distract him enough to fly off the rails of the road, basically. You would think, but...
Yeah. It gets a little hectic there.
Yeah. I do have a favorite couple of lines in this episode, though, that and I quote, "seems that way," pretty often. And I'll do it in that tone of voice, too. Seems that way. I think he says it, about 6 times?
It says it enough that I want to strangle him.
So the first time that those two are talking, that first guy says a line, "seems that way," says the second line, "seems that way," then he says a third line, but there's no response. And then they come back to them again, and then he says it again. That first guy talks, "seems that way," first guy talks, "seems that way," and then gets abruptly stopped after that 5th line. And then I think he says it, I think one or two more times, but that's not my favorite line. My favorite line is that idiot driver when he said, "Is this on? I can't hear it. It's too high pitched. Only animals can pick it up." I knew that.
Oh,
I was testing.
I knew that. I wonder if that was. To me, that's just.
I mean, it's a typical gag you might see in a lot of things. That sort of. I was just testing you, but
right.
I don't know. It just that character is just such a throwaway character. So I don't know. Just kind of.
It's a nice little personality for just a.
Yeah, like those two guys in the truck. They at least evoke something, even though they never show up again, as far as I recall.
Yeah. I don't know if I have a favorite from this one, but I do. Probably the at the end when Jet's like, "Oh, we gotta gotta take care of ticks and all this sort of stuff," and Spike's like, "Can't we just salt them and eat them?"
Oh yeah. What does he say? Something like, "I hate kids and pets" or something?
Yeah. And that's when Jet's like, "Well, you're
Jet,
the one that brought him here." What's
yeah. Well, yeah, you're the one who rescued him. Jet with his the dog is worthless, but his owner is worth a fortune. Before they lose by the end. But yeah, that's all I got for this one. You got any?
Also, props to the fortune teller, Pico. Once somebody does finally recognize the genius of the Pico bird, he'll be going places.
I mean, he gets Hakeem to commit momentarily.
Right.
Doesn't really work out for him, but.
No, my money. I remember it says you get paid when I get rich or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. Already halfway down the block.
Right.
Within like 3 strides because the guy's 9 feet tall.
But yeah, that is that's it on my end. So. What's the
stamp a bounty on this one?
Yeah, what's the bounty we're going to roll with on this one?
So Akeem's bounty was 8 million wulongs, which I thought was extremely high. I thought compared to.
Well, I mean that Data Dog was super secret business, so.
I suppose so. I'm going with 4 million wulongs.
Ooh,
I'm dropping that bounty.
Ooh, gracious. So when you compare it to that, are you saying that it's just like that's the threshold it's trying to hit to be good, or
oh, like I'm pulling towards like I don't enjoy this episode as much.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to be
if I'm under the bounty, then it's sort of I can
not quite.
watch it. It doesn't. I don't feel like I'm wasting time watching it, but it's not one of my preferred episodes.
So I would say I'd probably put it at. I would go with maybe like an 8.5 million.
Okay.
Million round. There's a soft spot for this one. I just enjoy it. What can I say? So that, and also, there's that nice little cheeky line of Spike referencing that all it is for a fistful of wulongs. Ha ha!
Yeah. Ha ha! Oh, we'll get to that. We will get to
that. All right. So yeah, this is the episode 2 of Stray Dog Strut for Cowboy Bebop. If you enjoy this episode, or if you don't, please let us know. And yeah, that's really about it. Anything else you want to add?
Nope, but looking forward to the next
one. Same here. So yeah, thanks for listening, and see you, Space Cowboy.